Yo, what up, everybody? This is Dale. I decided to make a video, and I want to talk about a very important topic. It's a little bit. This video here is 2K. I'm not really playing until maybe the end of the video, so you might see a little gameplay. I just wanted to make a video today talking about a certain topic that I thought about when I was at work. So it's a topic that I thought that I've been thinking about, and I realized my mother used to tell me this all the time. Don't grow up too fast and don't rush anything. Be patient. And I realized how much her words are true today. Her and my grandmother always used to tell me that when I was younger. And I realized that, especially after last week was one of the hardest weeks of my life in a long time. I was stressed. I was not eating, I was not sleeping, work was hard, everything was just difficult for me to do at that point. Um, Things were crazy, and I didn't know, where to go, who to turn to, and who to look for in this situation. And this is NBA 2K, I think 15 or 16. No, I don't forget which 2K was this, but I haven't played. I didn't even buy last year's 2K. And how things were as a person, I grew, basically how growing up too fast really is. When people tell you don't grow up too fast, don't grow up too fast. And I guess I get some examples and write along a few other things. Now, as an adult, I realize how hard it is to survive out here as an adult. If I didn't have a good job that I do have now, which I'm thankful for, I wouldn't be able to survive, especially if I was still working at my old job and they got laid off. I don't know how I'd be able to survive. So I'm always thankful for having this job that I have now. I'm always looking forward to bettering myself, doing things, and getting to that top echelon that I need to be at so I can live a comfortable life when I get older. I don't want to live the greatest of life, and I'm not trying to live the fabulous, most fabulous lifestyle and all this other stuff. I'm just trying to live a life where I'm just like, okay, at least I try. I want to try things now. I want to go. I want if I die, I want to die at least know I tried things that I dreamed about doing. I always dream about becoming president, so I do want to run for president one day. I do want to help change the world if I can. I do want to try to play baseball or some tennis. With me and baseball, and I always tell people baseball saved my life because baseball, when I started pitching, it took all my issues away. It was just me, that ball, and focus on them spots. And I started doing that right after I got out of rehab when I was younger. So now, at the age of 30, I'm seeing a lot. My friend Devon brought up something that was crazy. That he said, "You realize we sound just like our parents when they were talking to us when we wouldn't listen, and we wouldn't. We thought we knew everything, and we thought we were so grown at that age." And I realized that, yeah, I realized when I was talking to my little brother from Chicago on my dad's side, another Dale. He called me at work yesterday, and he told me, "I wish I would have listened to you. I wish I would have heard your warnings when you were telling me certain things. But now I messed up, and I got a baby on the way." And as a big brother, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to protect your brother, you want to protect your friends. But it is right. My mom is right. You gotta let people learn from on their own because some people gonna do what they want to do, and they gonna grow up fast. And I did it. You know what I'm saying? I rushed into relationships and shit like that. I remember when I used to be younger, man, and I used to get on the phone with somebody, and the next thing you know, I loved them like like an hour later, after we done had a phone conversation. Next thing you know, you in a relationship and shit fall apart, and that was a part of me wanting to grow up too fast. I guess it starts to hit you hard, and I'm appreciative. It starts to hit you when you get older, and you see a lot of the young people going through what you've been through as a child, and not having that guidance some people need to have. And it's like then when you talk to him, like when I was talking to my little brother and little Dale, he Dale, I think he's fourth. And he done been in jail. He done been in gangs. He done been in, and his life has been real rough as a child. And I'm his big brother, and I'm, somebody who I love him like crazy, regardless of anything. And it was just so hard to sit back. So yeah, of course I kept, you need to stop doing this. You need to think before you do this. You need to think before you do that. And he didn't listen. He didn't like listening. And I can understand I was the same way. But when I was younger, I realized I was a little more precautionary. A lot of things that I did go through, um, I thought about. I could have ended up in more dangerous situations. Like when I was younger, I almost had a child because I thought if I got a child, she'd get food stamps and checks from the government to help me pay for a Super Nintendo, and that was stupid. Now I realize when I see my sister and she has three young girls, and the oldest one is 11 to 3, middle one is Tanila, who is 7. I realize how hard it is to raise kids. If my sister didn't have my mom there, it would be next to impossible for her to survive. She would be, one of these mothers that's on welfare that can't do anything with her life until all of them grow up, at least one of them. And a lot of people don't think about that. Yeah, if some people do have kids early and succeed in life, but that's making a lot of sacrifices that you don't necessarily have to make in order to be, in order to just wrap it up, wrap your thing up. Me, I did my Craigslist shit. I missed a shot here. I always wrapped it up, I always use condoms. Last week I was a little nervous because I got to my HIV test, came back 100% negative. So a brother got a new aspect, a new lease on life. My mother told me, and she sat down and told me yesterday, and I love my mother to death, and she told me, you don't got no kids, you ain't married to nobody, you single, and she said, most importantly, the most important part that you are free to do whatever you want. She said, you don't have to answer to anybody, you don't got to make sure you call somebody or tell somebody where you at, you ain't locked down. And I realized how important that is to me now as an older adult, as 30, being 30, how I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to keep up with nobody's phone calls. I don't have no mouth to feed. I'm free to do whatever I want. And it feels good, man. I have a chance at life to do things I always wanted to do. And the only thing I have to do is try. I'm getting a little emotional because I gave myself the opportunity in life where I chose to not lay down and have kids. I could have did that. I could have been like my dad, man. I could have. I messed up when it came to relationships where I forcefully just ran through relationships and ran right into it, not thinking. Hopefully, I was hoping that the shit would last. You hope every relationship lasts when it comes to love, especially if it's fast. But not thinking that you got a responsibility to this person. You're not able to do the same things you used to do. You got to answer to somebody at the end of the day. When I was, this girl that I met, her name was Shay, man. And beautiful chick. I met her through my cousin. She did not like me having any type of freedom at all, man. And I wasn't even dating her. She didn't like me talking to my boys. She didn't like me talking to my cousin Q. He know who he is. He didn't like talking to my friend Robert, or he know who he is. She seemed like she just needed to know everywhere I was going, who I was talking to, where I worked, and we were just friends. So as a man, as me now, I turn into this person. You ain't finna check me if we ain't married and if we ain't in a relationship. We gotta have space. If I'm in a relationship, I know all about space. But you're not about to check me. You're not about to ask me who I'm talking to. I'm not dedicated to you. I'm not bound to you. I'm not going to go there with you. We friends, so we're gonna keep it friendly. And she, for some reason, she did not like that at all. She felt like I was obligated to tell her everything she was doing. She didn't want me to talk to my friend one time. Oh, well, why you talk? Why you gotta talk to him? You should be on the phone with me. I text you every day. I talked to you, and then basically I was talking to her more than I talked to my friend. That wasn't by choice. That's because she was blowing up my phone. Long story short, I ended up blocking her. And I'm thinking to myself, other night at work, that what happened if I would have just accepted it, right? If I would have just laid down and I would have just made her mine. Like, ain't nothing else in this world out there for me to go explore as far as girls. And I got to give a shout out to, and I haven't talked to him in forever, but his name is Clark Hustle and Flow, Hustle and No Flow. We call him Hustle. When I used to talk to him, he taught me a lot about females, you know? And it was just like, he was this guy that he had females, but the dude never was like, let me settle for this one. There's something else out there. I'm young, so I'm going to see what else is out there. And I had to give him props for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that taught me a lot. You don't have to settle for the first thing that comes around. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first got my car, I wanted this Dodge. What was it? It was a Dodge Caliber. And no, it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't even Dodge Caliber. It was a Hyundai Elantra, right? $2,500. $2,500. So I'm like, man, this bad boy nice. I was so eager to get a car. That's how I was. I was, I'm gonna get it. I'm sitting there talking to the salesman. He like, hey, this car do this, third. Next thing you know, engine light on, right? My mom was I wasn't listening to my mom because I was so eager to get a car. I was like, I was so mad at her for telling me to wait. Wait, you gonna find something else. Just wait. So I was just like, and I just walked away. I had the $2,500 in my pocket, right? Next thing you know, I waited. I seen that scene. I waited. I found, and then next thing you know, I seen this other car, which is my current car now. I'm like, the car I ain't like it at first. I'm like, is the hood cap missing and all that? But I got it, and it has a gay, and hasn't. It's been my perfect investment. Not perfect, but it's been a good investment. I had to put some work into it, but it's been a good investment. Now I got me a car. The reason I brought that up is that patience is key in life, because impatience will ruin your life. Dead ass. If I would have bought that car, I would have had tons of money to put into it. I probably wouldn't even have a car, because that car is still sitting up there today. Still sitting up there today. So it's going like, just like with relationships with that girl Shay. If I would have invested and I would have just said, okay, I am yours, I am bound to you, I probably would have been happy for the first month, but for the second month, realizing that this ain't what I had to accept, I would have been upset. Because I realized I'm answering somebody. Only person I really do answer is, my boss when he needs something, of course. If he like, hey, we got that, and I block somebody right there, block shark. But other than that, my friends when they need to know, my friends say, hey, where you at? I'm at work, fam, what up? You know what I'm saying? Or my, cousin, and, I'm on my helping my friends. They ain't finna be like, hey, you need to do this, that, and the third. But they understand. But then when it came to a relationship, man, I realized that's a lot to put up with. That's a lot, especially if I would have made a mistake and had a child at like 15, even if I would have had a child at the age of 19, 20, I wouldn't have been able to take care of that child, man. I wouldn't have been able to do what I need to do, doing what I do now, have these perspectives in life. I got to focus on me. That's what I got to do. Focus on making me happy. And a lot of people ain't doing it. They so focused on getting ass and doing other things. So if you ain't focused on making yourself happy and loving yourself, you got to love yourself before you love somebody else. Good love don't happen in just weeks, So, like I said, if you a kid out there and you a young child, teenager, if you even 18, 19, 20, you still in college, try to stay young as possible, man. Don't have no kids, chill, and don't grow up too fast, yo. This is Dale D. I'm out. Peace.